So, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss some questions in which it mentions to find the number of hosts and the number of subnets given an IP address and a subnet mask. So, in these two questions, we are going to work this out today and then we are going to obtain the answers step by step. So, in question number 1, we are going to find the number of hosts and the number of subnets. So, the number of hosts is going to be found first and the number of subnets is going to be found second. You can change the order in whichever way you want. So first of all, you got to know that this is class A. The reason for that to be class A is this range, the first octet ranges from 0 to 127. So you know that 7, it lies between 0 to 127. This is class A. And in class A, the default subnet mask is going to be 255.0.0 and .0. This is going to be the default subnet mask of class A. And now what you're going to do is you should also identify the network ID. This is the network ID. And this is the host ID of class A IP address. So now we are going to find the answers for this. So we know that the default subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. So 255.0.0.0. I'm going to write it default subnet mask. The default subnet mask is this, and now we are going to find the number of hosts and the number of subnets. So let's get on with the number of hosts first. So this question mentions 1. We should write this in binary format. This I mean in binary format, which is going to be 1. .255 is written this way in binary format, and 224 is going to be written 128 plus 64 plus 32. This is going to be zeros 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros. So now we are going to find the number of hosts. So the number of hosts are found this way. Number of hosts goes like 2 to the power n minus 2. This is the general equation which you use to find the number of hosts in a network. So the number of hosts in this network is going to be the number of zeros which are written here. So there are this much of zeros written. So there is this much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there are 13 hosts in this network. 2 to the power 13 is going to be minus 2. 2 to the power 13, if 2 to the power 10 is going to be 1024. 2 to the power 11 is going to be 2048. 2 to the power 12 is going to be 4096. And 4096 into 2 is going to be 12. 9 times 2 is 18. 1, 8. So it's going to be 8182. So minus 2 is 8180 hosts. The reason you might ask me is that why are we subtracting 2 addresses from this network? The reason for that is this: we have 2 reserved addresses in a network, which is called the broadcast address and the network address. So those are the 2 addresses. Therefore, since they are reserved, we are going to minus those 2 reserved to find how many hosts could we use, or how many IP addresses could we use in this network. Number of hosts and the number of IP addresses is 8180. So 4096 is going to be 8182, and when be subtract 2 is going to be 8180. So now that we found this, we are going to find the number of subnets. Let's find the number of subnets in this way. Number of subnets is going to be 2 to the power n. M is the number of ones available in this question. M, there are 8, and there are 8 plus 3 is going to be 11. 2 to the power 11 is going to be 2048. So now that we found the number of hosts and the number of subnets in this question, we are going to move to this question right here, and let's see what it says. The IP address is given this way, so you can figure out that this is a class B because this ranges from 128 to 191. This is the range of class B. So now that you found class B, the range, now you should know that this is the network ID, and this is the host ID. Now that you know the network ID and the host ID, you can easily find the default subnet mask, which is going to be this. This is the default subnet mask in this question. So the default subnet mask is that, and now we are going to find the number of hosts and the number of subnets. So let's find the number of subnets and the number of hosts. So now that you know the default subnet mask, so therefore this is the host bits and this is the network bits, and let's find it. 1 1 1 1. Continue the process. So this is the thing we should know about this question, and now that we know this, we are going to find the number of subnets or the number of hosts. Let's find the number of hosts. There are zeros of 6 number of hosts is going to be 2 to the power n minus 2. N is the number of zeros or the total number of host bits available. So there are 6 host bits. So we're going to put 2 to the power 6. 2 to the power 6 is going to be 64. 64 minus 2 is going to be 60 hosts. So 60 hosts, and now we are going to find the subnets. So these are you find the number of subnets. So now that you have number of subnets, it's going to be 2 to the power n. There are 10 ones, and 2 to the power 10 is going to be 1024 bits. So now that you know the number of subnets and number of hosts in the second question, let's move on to the question number 3. The question number 3 has given this subnet mask and this IP address. From this you can know that this is not, the first octet is not lying between class B or class C. So therefore it doesn't lie between class A or class B, it's class C, because class C ranges from 192 to 223. So 192 to 223 is going to be the range of that. So now what we are going to do is we are going to find, so the default subnet mask of this is going to be default subnet mask is going to be is 255 255.255.0. So now that we know the default subnet mask, we should also know the network ID. The network ID of this address is going to be the first 3 octets, and this is going to be the host ID. So now that we know the network ID and the host ID, we can find the number of hosts and the number of subnets. The number of subnets, the number of hosts is going to be 224. So therefore we should write 1, 1, and we should continue the same process as we did in the past questions. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2 to 4 is going to be 128 plus 64 plus 32. So there are 3 ones starting this. So due to lack of space, the words may seem a little small, but I hope you can manage my little tutorial, and let's do this. So the number of subnets in this is, number of hosts in this is going to be, so 8 minus 3 is going to be 5. 5 is, yeah, it's going to be 5, and it's going to be 5. Number of hosts is going to be 2 to the power 5 minus 2 is going to be 2 to the power 5 is going to be 32. 32 minus 2 is going to be 30 hosts. So number of subnetworks is going to be, so now that we know hosts, it's 30 hosts, and now we are going to find number of subnets. The number of subnets is going to be 2 to the power n. 2 to the power m is going to be 2 to the power 3, which is number of trees is going to be 8 subnets. So now that you know how to answer this question, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something new from this. And make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video to your friends who is in need of this knowledge. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, and have a nice time.